Have you lost the connection with your higher self? Are you noticing the dis-ease of the outside world? It's time to reconnect with nature and each other and raise our consciousness, vibration, and frequency. Together we can create a world of peace and abundance. It's Spiritual Revolution Radio with your host, Dr. Will Miller.
Hello and welcome to Spiritual Revolution Radio. I'm Dr. Will Miller with the Life by Design Institute, and today on my show I have Mike Ansari. Mike was born in Tehran in 1964 and now lives and is joining us from New Zealand. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Let me just, I want to tell you just a few things about Mike because we're going to have kind of fun on the show today, and Mike is going to share some wonderful ideas with us, and I'm excited about it. But Mike is a 7th Dan Grandmaster in Kung Fu and a 7th Dan Grandmaster in Taekwondo. He's also a qualified fitness trainer from Auckland University of Technology and has been a coach and transformational coach for, I think, over 30 years now. Is that right, Mike?
Yes, that's right. That's correct.
The other thing that I want to just hit on as we go through the show today is Mike has actually started a program he calls Chrysalis, and this is kind of a higher frequency transformation program, and it's really based upon his technique of being fit in the mind and fearless in the body. I love that quote of yours. Anyway, Mike, welcome to the show. Tell us just a little bit about, kind of give us your history. You've been doing this for a long time, so give us a little bit of your history and how you got to where you're at now.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Well, I started my spiritual journey pretty much when I was 4 years old. I had the privilege to come into the family that they were all spiritual. A spiritual value was very important because it would create the respect between the family and family with society. So I was very privileged to have my first 10 years training with my grandpa, who was one of the most spiritual people that I've met in my life. The most important part was on his deathbed at 94, I was 14. And I happened to be next to him holding his hand. So when he passed away in front of my eyes, suddenly he passed all of his life energy from birth to death with all his memory, all his experiences. And then after that, he just asked me a question to continue. The question was, you are continuing my path. And I want you to find out that how we can measure how close we are to our higher self because we pass away from this life. So I started from there, actually.
And you got involved in the martial arts and have received some great achievements there. So tell us about how you got into the martial arts and how that kind of transformed into your coaching experience and what you do today.
It was pretty much resonated with my quest for finding my perfect in spirituality. At the same time, at 14, I started my Kung Fu. So I've been training basically about 8 hours a day, most of the day, just to create a physical body that can help me to be improving more in my mental fitness.
So, as part of that training, how important is that to the program you've developed, this Chrysalis program that you've developed? How important is that to that?
Okay, one of the best and greatest important of my martial arts was a discipline. So you have to have a certain physical discipline. So that discipline will guide you into live a lifestyle with diet, with lifestyle, with the way that you do. I started about 14. I started my out-of-body experience meditation, which grew to 8 hours a day. My training is got such an effect on me that I can feel that my complete physical strength. In that moment, I wanted to complete it myself. Then I realized there is a mind and there is a spirit. So it allows me to getting a chance to work on my mind through my spiritual practice, which started with Sufism when I came to New Zealand in 91.
Okay. So you practiced your martial arts in Iran then before you came to New Zealand?
Yes,
Okay.
I was a master when I come.
Okay.
I started teaching straight away when I arrived in New Zealand. Yes, I've been teaching since too.
Okay. And currently you've put together the Chrysalis program. Tell us about the program, how it came into being, and why that name. I was curious as I was looking through the program, why that name?
Uh, I was looking for, talking about the title first, the brand name. I was looking for something can describe us, create the imagination in us that what exactly this program is. And I have was fascinated about this journey of a chrysalis when you caterpillar and then you go through a very short time and then you put yourself in a phase of energy that is covering you and you create a bubble and that in that bubble you suddenly transform yourself to a total different being. You grow the wings of beautiful colors. So I use that as realizing for a practitioner that chrysalis is a program that gives you a chance that you grow the wing of your certainty when you go through it.
So when did you start the Chrysalis program? How long ago?
Um, I started chrysalis program basically as a lifetime achievement. I I was working with my martial arts. Then when I become a Sufi, it was a very challenging task. About 10 years, I have gone through a hardest spiritual practice, combining with my everyday martial arts. Basically, I was taking 2 cup of tea and a handful of just a little bread for 10 years. I went through so much of practice of those 10 days spiritual meditation. And the goal was that you come to the conclusion that you really know that you have killed your ego and you are empty within yourself, in your mind, and you're ready for that light to spark your spirit. And then comes my enlightenment.
You did that through fasting. It sounds like, and did you say 10 days? You kind of broke up as you said that.
10 years.
10 years. Okay. I was thinking, wow. Okay.
Yes.
So tell us, what is the foundation of the Chrysalis program? Tell us how it's, if I'm looking at it and I want to be involved in it, tell me how you put that foundation together and what that is.
Okay. The, I come to my end of my quest of finding a mind of certainty about the intention that you have as a person. In 2006, and I come with the experience that I call purity experience. After that, I spent about 8 years written a book called The Perfect I as a capital letter I. So I start promoting perfection because I got the eyes that I see everyone as perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So I started that journey. I've written the book. In that book, I'm talking about that how we can love ourselves to be able to finish the question for us that we are not only good, but we have so much attention and effort. We spend a lifetime. Now we can celebrate our certainty as a human being and open the wings of our um, spirituality and fly away forever in happiness. So in that book, I have gone through 7 stages of transformation. Basically, I put my lifetime work in it. When I start at 14, I had to find the courage to, at 14, I'm coming with the question that is challenging me. I need a new courage to start questions without even going through much of experience myself. But because I had so much experience passed to me, it gives me a courage that I could understand that I am free. Even I'm living in a country, a society that dictates me how should I live as a citizen. But when it comes to my mind, actually I am free. That's how I want to think. So I found that new courage in Iran. And I continue on working on with my martial arts and my meditations. Then I made the connection. So that was the second stage. Now, when it comes to connection, I start finding, seeing light, voices, guidance. Um, as they say, things happens to me that it was out of this world. It's like that I'm living in this world at the same time I am witnessing myself. So what happened? I come to the stage of communication. After that, I found the next stage, content. I felt peace in my heart. I was delighted when I was in New Zealand. Then after that, I spent 10 years on those spiritual years of practice and martial arts.
Mhm.
I said, I woke up. I was free in my heart. My mission was to find freedom in my mind, to be able to go through every day of life. At the same time, enjoy it, every moment of it, because I am living it and who I am.
Yeah.
So after that 10 years, I created a stage of supreme, supreme confidence, which allows me to create certainty. And I was a person who have created a silence mind, a pure mind, a mind of a butterfly. A caterpillar transforms in its body, but the transformation in the mind of caterpillar doesn't think I was crawling on the ground. All he sees is the beautiful colors and flying on the sky.
So, and you're explaining kind of the process you go through in this training. I've in looking online, you tied it also to colors, red being courage and orange being connect and yellow being communication, which tie also to your chakras, colors, right? And also give frequency. You know, in Life by Design Institute, we teach the frequencies that go with colors, and each color has a frequency, as well as an emotion has a frequency. So, why did tell us how you've tied that together and how you use that in your training. If I'm training
Um,
from you, tell me kind of that process, if you would.
okay, since 2006, when I found the eyes to see everyone as perfect, I was totally different person. So I start telling people I love you, and I could feel it.
Yeah.
And then I start thinking, what should I do? Because for me, it's tangible. For me, it's touchable. For me, is another person in front of me. For me, is breathing air
Mm-hmm.
and feel your presence. So I thought I need to create something tangible for people so I can let them to measure their spiritual and mental success on a daily basis of their trip. I said, I want a person to become like what I think in 1 year. That's my love. That's my mission in humanity. So I shortcut all the hardship that I have done, I say, let's bring that love and compassion and certainty into a person who spends 2 hours every day at least in traffic, rather than sitting down and closing their eyes as a meditation. So that was a mindset that I had to make it as easy. Then it was in my heart cold. One day morning, I woke up and I was beautiful rainbow in the sky. And I looked at it and I said, there we go. This is a rainbow. This is the seventh color.
Mhm.
As I'm looking at the rainbow and I'm amazed. And I said, that resonates with my seventh stage. Then what I learned after that, I looked at the rainbow and I said, hang on a second. As a spiritual person, purple is the strongest spirit energy for me.
It-
How come is purple is on the top or on the bottom? Then I looked at purple is on the bottom. I said, I'm gonna tell people, start redirect yourself where you send your heart and mind rather than to the sky and search universe forever, which is you are for eternity. Cut the thing short. Make a new choice. Have a courage. Believe in yourself, and then see that the highest energy of frequency actually vibrates from your heart here on earth.
I like that. So
Thank you.
in your program, you call your students or your members of your program harmonists. Is that right?
Yes.
Tell us why.
Um, in all the spirituality, we're always looking for a balance. I realize balance is us walking each moment as a spirit in any physical being in the life of our all forever soul. So we are the balance at any stage, rather than balance is keep changing as we are changing in our
Right.
physicality,
Yeah.
as we are changing in our mind. So I said, what we need a new movement to have heart. When I train physically, my heart rate goes at 56. I go to 190, 195. I pause my training, I record, I video, I talk to people and smile. I realize my mind is the total different entity from my physicality. So when I train, my mind is at rest, is my physical heart rate. Then I said, okay, I become a person who spirit is always 100% like consciousness in our mind.
Mhm.
It's the way that we have perceived in the same system of the belief that how much connection that we have. So I said, if I allow my mind to be silent and pure, and that allows the spirit to to shine upon my physicality as a living being in my life force fully. So that will support me to heal my body all the time, every moment that we need. So in that manner, I put a work of spirit, a work of mind, and the body in a circle of eternity in harmony as a person.
So, and I think you kind of said earlier that the program. Did you say it took a year long? This is a year-long program, or
Uh, it took my lifetime.
well, it took your lifetime, but giving someone this program that comes
Okay.
into the
I,
program.
I not only believe, I guarantee it.
Okay.
I guarantee it. A person who comes with a mind of abundance, a mind of free, and accepting, yes, I can have a new level of courage that improve my self-belief in myself. Then I can have more confidence, and then I can grow into my supreme satisfaction.
So if
That's what the program does. It starts from color red. It starts with color red, with
okay,
the concept of courage, the mantra that I choose for it. I choose the mantra. That is my journey of my lifetime. It was, I'm taking charge. Then it goes to the orange. which is um, connection, and with the concept of connection and a mantra of taking steps. Then it goes to communication. Yellow, I'm shining. That's the mantra. So every stage that I take people, actually, unless, uh, unlike, this is a quite different design, is a pathway, is a spirituality,
Mm.
but it comes in a combination of everyday life that is giving a person a chance if they have a stress, not just come to Chrysalis to get a release for that day. Come to Chrysalis to realize what is causing that stress, how we can improve ourselves to get rid of that stress, and then we can replace that energy with a positive energy and be happy all the time. That's how it's been designed.
I like it. So tell us, is the program, is it taught live there in New Zealand? Is it online? Tell people how they find you and how the program works.
Uh, it has taken me years to bring it together as easy as tangible for the simplest of us, that is my favorite people are, to find it in their heart what I say and then resonate it in their mind. The program comes to the launch on Valentine's Day. I choose Valentine's Day because I want to tell humanity, if as a person that I lived a spiritual life, I want to be remembered as a person to see everyone as perfect right now.
Well, and we are, aren't we? All perfect right now.
Of course. But there is something we have been put behind the curtain. And they say we've been told stay in goodness. Don't open the curtain because all the other things, bad things is on the other side. So if we want to save you, stay here. That's what we have lived. All I just want to do for people with that program, that they open their curtain, they open their mind, the heart is always there. So with the belief that they have, with the pure intention and energy that they have, they know I put them in the charge of progress from one stage to another. They are the judge of themselves to go from that step one to that certainty at step seven, which says I am perfect.
Right. So how do people get a hold of you? How do they sign up for Chrysalis, and get a hold of you on your website as well? Tell us your website.
Yes, my website is Mike Ansari, ANSARI.com.
Okay.
The Chrysalis program will go live uh, Valentine's Day, so people can come and see us on that Chrysalis meditation. That's what we have got.
Okay. And
Yes.
and that's going to be on your website, right?
It's going to be on website as well.
Okay.
And I'm going to put it on the YouTube and social media.
Okay. And then, so everybody, you can get a hold of Mike at MikeAnsari.com. I did notice when I was on your page that I can put my information in there, so you have my contact information, and let us know when that happens, right?
Definitely.
And I look forward to seeing that on Valentine's Day. I'll definitely look for myself and share that with others. I appreciate you being on the show today. We're almost out of time. Any last thoughts you'd like to mention before we close?
Yes, I want to appreciate you.
Thank you
for this time. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, I love people, and this is in my heart. I just want to show people they are the same. All they need is a little bit of shifting their consciousness and see it for themselves.
I agree with you 100%, and I definitely look forward to February 14th. I'm going to be looking at your website and follow you for sure. Everyone, I appreciate you listening to the show today. Now is a time for a new peace movement, and we here at Spiritual Revolution Radio are committed to bringing you the knowledge you need to raise your frequency and set your body, mind, and soul free. Remember, knowledge is power, and it's time for a spiritual revolution. The time is now to open your heart and mind to your higher self. I'm Dr. Will Miller. Check out my website at Life by Design Institute. And to comment or ask questions, check out our show page at spiritualrevolutionradio.com. Love and peace, everyone.
This has been Spiritual Revolution Radio with Dr. Will Miller. For more information or to be a guest, please visit lifebydesign.institute. Join us next week for another edition of Spiritual Revolution Radio with your host, Dr. Will Miller. This has been a production from a podcast studio.